Hi guys, it's Chris with City Girl Homestead. Welcome to Thankful Thursday. So today I'm going to make an announcement too, so that's a good thing. But anyways, I do know what I want to talk about today. Not sure what I'm going to say about today, but I know what I want to talk about. So, my thought is giving, and that's kind of what I want to talk about today. And giving doesn't always mean your money. So let's start out with the verse that I picked for today. It is Hebrews 13:16. And do not forget to do good and to share with others, for with such sacrifices God is pleased. And I truly, honestly believe that. So let's get into prayer, and then we can make what I'm going to make today, and we can talk, and then I'll give you my announcement. All right. Dear Heavenly Father, I ask that you wrap your arms around each and every person listening to this video, and that it touches their lives somehow. I feel as though to do my YouTube channel, it was a calling, and I hope that eventually it builds to what I felt that it should be, but I'll do as you wish. I also ask you that you wrap your arms around the idea that I have now, that I feel a calling to. There's a lot of pain and a lot of stress and a lot of other stuff out there right now. And you know everything. I ask that any of those people that need help with all those things, that you lift them up and that you help them. We depend on you, God. We know that it's you that can lead us and take us along. You grab our hands like with that footsteps in the sand. It's then that I carried you. Some of us need to be carried right now. So I ask that you carry and not let them walk alone. I ask that you continue to know that we love you and that we honor you and that we try so hard to obey you, even if we fall short of the grace of God. Know that I love you as well, and that I'll do what you ask. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. All right, so, not going to make the announcement yet. You thought I'd just go right into it, didn't you? No. We're going to cook something first. So, with the idea of cleaning out the freezer and doing the canned meat and doing the pantry cooking and all that stuff, it's really made me think about other things that I have in my pantry that I need to use up, utilize, preserve in a different way, whatever, so that it doesn't go to waste. Now, as I was given some of that government meat, I was also given some of these, they're dried red Tart cherries. I was also given some walnuts. So, let's put a couple of those things to use. Now, the walnuts and the cherries that I don't use today, I will put in the freezer. And that actually helps to keep them better so much longer. So, just the idea. All right. So, I know I want to tell you guys everything, but, well, you gotta wait. All right. So, I am going to make today, I'm going to make dried Tart cherry chocolate chip cookies. So, we're going to use my beautiful KitchenAid again. So we need 2.5 cups of flour. I know I'm using my KitchenAid more, huh? I'm also going through flour a lot more too. It's crazy how much flour you go when you cook by scratch, you know. Whoops. I had one of my oxygen absorbers in there. I don't think we need to cook with that. That's probably not a good plan. A little bit less. There we go. 2.5 cups of flour. I love these big containers until they take up so much room on my countertop. Alright, and then we need a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. We need a half a teaspoon of that. All right. Then we need 1 teaspoon of baking soda. I hope these are really good. I've made chocolate covered cherries with those before and they were really good too. Then we need a half a teaspoon of salt. I'd like to try to get some of that stuff used up. I have quite a few bags actually downstairs of different stuff that I need to use up. Or redo. How's that? We need a cup of sugar. And we need a half a cup of brown sugar. Sorry, don't mean to reach in front of you guys. Try not to do that, but you know what? Sometimes it can't be avoided. A little bit more. There. Half a cup of brown sugar. So now we're going to lift that up, and we're just going to kind of mix that stuff together. I know, the noise is atrocious. Dun, 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 dun. Whoops. You guys want to see what else I found? Another one. Can't have all that. You know, I read a comment from last week, and it said how much joy they see in me when I cook for my son. And I want to let you guys know there is a lot of joy in that. Because I don't care if he is 32 years old. I miss my babies. You know, I miss doing for them. I did daycare and a bunch of other stuff, so I was home all the time with my kids for a good portion. Then I had to work outside the home. Well, I've always worked. I never got to be a stay-at-home mom ever. So let's clear that one up first. I never got to be a stay-at-home mom. All right, so now we need a cup of butter. So I've actually had it on the stove, letting it kind of soften up. So that it won't be so hard to... Some of it's actually melted already in the time that I took to get everything else around. Life happens. Alright, so let's pull over there. We got all that butter taken care of. Alright. Now we need 2 eggs. Tell you, I go through eggs like water around this place. Now it asks for almond extract, which I don't have any of. And it says if you're going to use vanilla, just use a little bit more. So it calls for a teaspoon. So I'm going to do about 1.5 teaspoons. And yes, I did order more. I'm going to put just a little bit more there. Alright. Then we need a cup of those dried cherries. And we need a cup of nuts, which I actually chopped up. Wanted to show you. This is the one thing that I kept. When you see that black spoon, that was my mom's. A lot of her stuff, most of her stuff I got rid of. But a few things I kept. And this, I don't know if it's a nut chopper, but that's what I use it for. That's what my mom used it for. So I think that's what it's for. Who knows? All right. Then we need 1.5 cups. Well, I'm going to have to fill my chocolate chips up. I'm glad I ordered them when I did because they were $9.99. Now they're $11.99. So when you can get stuff like that, I always, when I get down low, I get one more so that I always have it in stock. And so if there's stuff you're low on, you know, you guys grab it now because the prices are just going up on everything. I mean, these went up $2 at Sam's. So, now we're going to take it back up there. Alright, I'm going to let this mix up for a minute and then I'll be right back. Alright, so everything is mixed up. They look pretty. So I'm going to take a big scoop because I want big cookies. And I'm just going to pour them, put them on my cookie sheet. It's just as easy to put one big one in his lunch than it is a couple of small ones. And so why not? I think these are going to be yummy. I do have my oven on 375. So, I can talk a little bit. So, my thought on giving is, you know, like people automatically think, well, you need to donate your money, whatever. But honestly, giving can be helping someone. It can be, you know, giving of your time. And sometimes your time is more important than money. You know, way more important than money. Everybody thinks that if you just throw money at something, it fixes it. Well, yeah, that, and, you know, is there some situations, I mean, we wish they would be fixed, like homelessness and, you know, stuff like that. We wish they could be fixed. But they've thrown an awful lot of money at it, and it's never been fixed. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't do things to help. I mean, this is really hard on my thumb. There's, you know, in the homeless population, there are people that are truly having issues. And then there's people that choose to be homeless. I know that sounds funny, but there are those people that choose to be that way. And I never thought that was true until Missy's brother moved in next door years ago. And for the longest time, that's what they wanted to do. And after his wife passed away over at Jack's house, he chose to go back out to California and be homeless again. He says he likes the freedom. He doesn't like to be told what to do. So how do you differentiate one from the other? You really can't. So you help them all. Giving can also be, Tom and I were talking about that this morning. It can also be things like, okay, my son gives blood, Bobby. He's in the real big gallon club. I don't know how much blood he's given, but he's given a lot. And, you know, Nate will do, like, they did the freeze thing, you know, that they did for ALS a while back. And, well, even Trump got in on that. That was so funny to see him like that. That was hilarious. I didn't do it, but that's how my mom died, and I think that's why Nate did it. It wasn't his real grandma, but still. My other son, he gives money, and he's a sucker for anybody in need. Christopher. He will literally give away his last dollar to put gas in your car. He's just that kind of kid. And I'm raised them that way, and that's why AJ does the homeless stuff with me too, because I want him and eventually Emmy to see that we need to give, to not just get, and that there are people that are less fortunate than us, and sometimes they need help. So anyways, towards the announcement. I watch videos too, obviously, and I've watched this one girl quite a few times. I think she's the Dollar Tree something. I'll have to find it and I'll put her link below. But you know, when Jack was away, we'd give our leftovers to Ed or to Crystal, or and I'm not patting myself on the back, don't take it that way. A couple of times we took it down to the homeless people, and it was still warm. They loved it. It was great. They had a good meal that day. It was awesome. And I thought, you know, if I could find, you know, an older couple or whatever that I could cook a few meals for a week. But the only person I know is actually Tom's late wife's mom. And she lives like an hour away. And she's quite particular, and she's very independent, even at like 86 years old. So I'm afraid to even ask her about it. So I felt a calling, especially after the video on the freezer. And so I had to talk to Tom about it. And I had to talk to God about it. And then today I had to talk to Jack about it, because I'll need his help. So what I want to do, I don't know how often I'll do it, because, you know, I live on a very, very, very tight budget as well. You know, I'm just like the rest of you. And Tom doesn't make amazing money. You know, yeah, he's got a pension too, but we've got bills as well. And my boss goes, how much do you pay a month in life insurance? And I said, $300. He goes, what? And I'm like, yeah. You know, you add up everything that it costs a month. It's ridiculous. But anyway, so what I want to do is I want to continue doing what I do with AJ, and, you know, making up the bags. And I'll give you guys a list next month on what I'm going to need. And if you want to donate like you did last time, it's not going to be as big, because obviously they don't need all the extra stuff in the summer that they would need in the winter, like the hats and gloves and all that good stuff. But what I want to do is, one day a week, I would like to make up some meals directed just at the homeless. And, you know, if I package them up here and drive to the homeless, believe me, they're close enough that dinner will still be hot. So, and Tom came up with the idea. He goes, well, if you do soups and stuff, he goes, you know, we have all those jars, and he hates that I save the pasta jars and whatever. He hates it that I do that. He says, but you could use those and put the soup inside there. Yes, they're glass, but there's lots of trash cans throughout the city. And I'll just need to buy some forks and spoons and stuff. And then meals, I'll put on paper plates, and then I'll go to the Dollar Tree and get those stretchy things that go over top. And then that way they can have a meal. I've got about 7 different things that I thought about to make. It's not going to be any spectacular, awesome meals or anything like that. It's going to be something to fill their belly. And when Jack said yes today, he would help me, my heart just sang, because everything's in place. So what I'm going to try to do is use up stuff that I have a lot of in my pantry. You know, like potato flakes and you know, vegetables and stuff like that. So I'm going to try to use a lot of that stuff, and maybe it'll be some meats. And it's so hard to explain. Like, honestly, when I was praying, I really did feel like YouTube was a calling. I hate my first job. I really do. But, you know, it's what pays my portion of the bills. And, well, most times. Used to all the time, but, you know, since the economy. But, and I hate doing it. I just don't want to do it anymore. And I felt like YouTube was a calling, that eventually I would make enough money that I wouldn't have to do my other job. Which I haven't been doing, to be honest. I get residuals, so that's what, you know, it fluctuates big time. But, I felt it to be a calling. And then, actually, when I first started, I still hated cooking. That love hadn't come back yet from, you know, all the years of cooking. And you know, you guys that are moms know, you know, and wives, or husbands that do all the cooking, for that matter. You know, after all those years of cooking, because you have to, it kind of takes the joy out of it. You know what I mean? Like, all right, well, I guess the kids need to eat again. So it really does take the joy out of it. Excuse me. But a couple months into doing the channel and seeing you guys' responses and everything that those of you that have been with me since day one, you know, it was like they're really pushing me to do better. And they're, you know, like they're getting me excited. And honestly now, like if you were to tell me I couldn't do a video today, I would be like, what? Because I truly do love sitting here with you guys, and I do feel like you're right here with me, and it makes it feel so good. So it's like, okay, so I'm at like $200 a month now. Next month they say it'll be less. Whatever. But it isn't just the money. You're feeding my soul. You're feeding my heart. You're feeding me everything that's important. I'm not going to keep doing that, right? And then, after watching that video, I'd already been thinking about it for a very, very, very long time. And actually, after watching that video, I was like, it's time. It's time. I have to do something. And I don't have a lot of money to give somebody. I really don't. And the way that I get around, you know, it's hard for me to volunteer at things because I just honestly can't stand that long. So I'm like, you know, I've been thinking, like, what can I do? Well, they don't want my blood because my veins are so tiny and they roll. And the last time I tried to give blood, they got like a quarter pint and they had to throw it out. But I may not be the best cook in the world, but I can cook. I can cook. And there's a lot of people out there that need dinners. And so that's what I'm going to do. And it's making my heart sing. It really is, because I don't want to go through this life thinking that I didn't do enough. Not for myself, but for others. Because for those of you that believe in God, and for those that you don't, that's fine. I mean, he allowed himself to be beaten and hung on a cross to die for me. And what have I done that makes me deserving to be in his presence? I'm sorry. So I often feel like I haven't done enough. I'm a very giving person, and I'm a very loving person, and very compassionate. I have a nasty side too. Don't think I don't, because I do. But I want to go out of this earth knowing that I just wasn't here to take. Does that make sense? Like, I love getting gifts, don't get me wrong. You guys have given me so many gifts that, you know, I'm just not used to that. I didn't have husbands or boyfriends or whatever that bought me things ever. Like, never. And my mom and dad always gave us gifts, but, you know, so to get things from you guys, like, is just, that's pretty amazing. It makes me feel amazing. But this world is about give and take. And when we give of ourselves, don't give of yourself till it hurts. Like, you know, Tom's ex-brother-in-law used to tithe so much and do so much that he actually lost his home. You know, and I understand all that, but at the same time, you have to take care of yourself as well. Because like we say, if we don't take care of ourselves, we can't take care of others. So you need to do that. But in this busy world, even donating our time sometimes is very difficult. And I've seen, like, when I go through the food bank lines with Jack, that, you know, there's an older lady that walks with a walker. And she puts stuff on the chair of the walker and she takes it. And is she slower? Oh, yeah, a lot. But she's out there. I see 60, 70, 80-year-old men out there, you know, and I tell Jack every time we go and I see an older guy doing that, I'm like, that's the last of the really awesome men, you know, that knew what it took to be a man. So many men now are shamed, and, you know, we won't even get into it, toxic masculinity and stuff. I'm a boy mom. I don't buy that. But, so let me know what you think. I'll do a video on what I make, and then I'll do a video on us passing stuff out. And it isn't for me to get acknowledgement, and I don't want you to think that it is. But I want it to be, like when I do with AJ, I want it to be a teaching time for him, a learning time for him. And I also want it to be maybe where someone else can say, you know what? I can take my leftovers to the guy around the corner. You know, he's hungry, and, you know, maybe his wife just passed away or her husband just passed away. Whatever it may be. And that you can help one person. It doesn't have to be 10 homeless guys. It don't have to be that at all. If you're a mom or your grandma and you've got a few extra minutes, you know, give of your time. Maybe a mom needs a break so she can just go to the grocery store without 5 kids dragging along, and she's like, ugh, you know. Or maybe she needs a night out, you know. Maybe some kid from the school, maybe they need a grandmother to look up to. And, you know, there's so many things that we can do in this world to give back. Because like I told Tom, let me check my cookies. Oh, you guys, they look so good. Like I told Tom, are we broke 99% of the time? Yes, we are. I certainly didn't marry him for his money, even though my mom said, he's got a pension, marry him. Well, little did she know his pension's only good for 20 years, and he started collecting it when he was 55. So he's 66, almost 67 now, so that'll be gone before you know it. Anyway, but now I lost track of what I was going to say. Oh, even though we're broke about 99% of the time, we are still far more blessed than so many. We have our home. We have a car to drive. We have each other. We have our family. We have God. We have friends. We have you guys. So we may not have all the riches of the world, but we're certainly blessed. And there are so many that are less fortunate than us. And Tom is a very big yes person, so if somebody asks him for help, sometimes to a fault, I'm like, dude, we have about 8 hours a week together, Monday through Friday. That's it. If we're lucky. If they don't hit any traffic, nothing. And that's time to take shower, eat, and go to bed. So, and sometimes when he'll go, yes, I'll help you with that, I'm like, I don't get you at all today? What? You're going to come home, eat? That's it. But if we can learn to give, and Tom said to me today when he was driving into work, and he goes, well, you know, tenfold. And I says, I don't care about that. We shouldn't give to receive. And he didn't mean it like that. You know, and he even said, he goes, I didn't mean it like that. And I says, I know, but we have to do stuff that we don't expect any payback for. And so I'm really, really excited. Not just because it'll be another video, but because I'm hoping to serve 8 to 10. Depends on how much there is in there. I may only be able to serve 4 or 5. You know what I mean? Like the nights that we took leftovers, we served 4 one night and 6 another. Yeah, I think 6 another. So it may not be a whole lot. But you know what? The ones that get it, it will be made with love. And, you know, I'm not saying that the shelters don't cook food out of love, but a lot of them do it because they get paid to do it. anything that I take them will be out of love. Because I truly do love everybody. I may not like everybody. Let's get that straight. I may not like everybody, but I do love everyone. This video is going to be super long. I am so sorry. I don't know that it even touched anybody, or I'm just doing my rambling thing I do every week. But I really, really wanted to get my announcement out, and my heart is singing right now. It really is. And it sings a good song. So I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to let these cookies finish, and then I'll come back and finish the video. All right, the cookies are done. So, don't they look amazing? Yummy. I forgot to mention one other thing. There's a lot of people that are homebound, have no money, have no transportation, they have disabilities, whatever. There is one thing that you can give that costs no money, no time, nothing. That's love. That's your heart. You can give that freely, and it doesn't cost you a dime. All right. So let's try. They're still a little bit warm. Let's try them. Look at that. Ha ha ha. Mmm. Milk. I have 5. Mmm. Those are good, you guys. So if you happen to get some of those cherries and walnuts and stuff in your, food boxes, or people so graciously give them to you, there's a way you can use them up. And I want to thank you guys, and I'm so sorry I rambled on. Hopefully I made any sense at all. And it's a longer video. I know you guys say you don't mind, but I really hate taking that much of your time up. But God bless each and every one of you. Love one another. Be good to one another. And thank you so much. On this Thankful Thursday, I am so thankful for every one of you. I know I haven't been doing that lately, have I? I am thankful for God and my family, my friends, my job, Tom's job, my husband, and you guys. My church family too. But, you guys are really helping me grow more than just cooking. I hope you know that. You're helping me do more than one walk. And I appreciate that. I do love each and every one of you. And when I say that, I truly do mean it. You guys have a blessed day. Be a blessing. And I love you guys.